Hey, what's going on, guys? A few days ago, I think it's gonna be about a week ago, actually, when you guys are seeing this. Who's keeping track? Um, but a Splatoon YouTuber, a popular one named Chase, you guys probably know him if you're in the Splatoon community. He's a very good YouTuber. Go watch him. His channel link will be in the description. A few days ago, after this recording, he made a video, pretty much talking about some of his 5 of his favorite things about Splatoon 3. And in at the end of that video, he said to kind of comment your top 5 favorite things about Splatoon 3, but comment, make a video, same difference, right? So I am here making a video because commenting is boring. About my top 5 favorite things about Splatoon 3, and I'm not gonna retread anything he kind of touched upon. At least I'm gonna try not to, or else I'd be basically just making his video, but worse. So I'm gonna try to make this a little bit distinct. But yeah, Chase's channel will be in the link in the description below. Go check him out. He's a great Splatoon content creator. Would highly recommend. But coming in at number 5, we have the new movement options, mainly squid roll. The amount of mileage I've gotten out of that mechanic is actually crazy, dude. Splatoon's movement has always been like really good, and it's surprisingly in depth too. Like even before squid roll and squid surge in Splatoon 3, because of like everything, because like almost everything you do in the game revolves around your movement, which is which is surprisingly enough like a really underrated aspect I find, because like not a lot of people talk about it. Um, but yeah, I think that the new movement options add just a lot more depth. They add a lot more kind of a skill ceiling. You learn how to use them properly. Squid Surge, admittedly, isn't very useful outside of like for blasters and a few other niche scenarios. But Squid Roll, almost it's so incredibly useful, dude. The amount of mileage I get out of that move is amazing. It just adds so much more depth to the thing, just because like it's such a simple mechanic. You basically just do like a 180 from whatever direction you're going in. It's such a simple mechanic, and yet it works so unbelievably well. It's so good. Now, what do you use it for? You can use it to pretty much take turns quicker. If you're turning a corner, you can squid roll to, because for one it's quicker, and two squid rolling gives you pretty much a much more weaker version of ink armor from Splatoon 2, which is a good thing since ink armor in Splatoon 2 was stupidly broken, and we don't need that back. Nintendo, please never add that back again. I beg you, please. Yeah, I love Squidward. I got a lot of mileage out of it, and I hope they don't remove it by the time in like 5 years, when Splatoon 4 is announced or whatever. I hope they don't get rid of it. I hope it's a long-standing feature because it really is just that amazing. Coming up next, we have lore. I love Splatoon lore. I think it's really interesting, and I love learning more about it. I'm gonna keep this kind of short because if you want to hear my full explanation, go watch my top 10 underrated things about Splatoon 3, or just Splatoon in general, I guess. Video link in the description for that as well. But I'm gonna keep this short. I love Splatoon lore. I find it interesting, and it's surprisingly dark. I love learning more about the characters, the world. It really is interesting, and you guys, if you want to know more about Splatoon stuff and why things happen in the game like they do, at least story-wise, go read some, go read the Eternal Logs and Sunken Scrolls. They explain a lot. Next up, at number 4, 2, however you want to go about this, we have the... Wait, no, this wouldn't be number 4 or 2, would it? No, it wouldn't. I'm stupid. Whatever, doesn't matter. We are here to talk about the special design. The special design in this game, mwah. Like whatever the Nintendo employees are on when they're designing specials for Splatoon 3, stay on them. All right, they're besides tennis missiles, most of them besides tennis missiles are amazingly designed, not necessarily great balance wise, but this design standpoint, amazing besides tennis missiles. Uh, I think that special design is really good. A lot of them have strengths and weaknesses that you can play for and against. Like for instance, with Crab, it's one of the best specials in the game, but you're always vulnerable while you're shooting. So if you're not careful, a Splatana Wiper Stamper can just get up behind you and one shot you with a vertical slash. Wave Breaker, really good AoE. Problem is, it's a stationary target and it's a stationary thing and doesn't have a lot of health, meaning that people can shred it fairly easily, which is why it relies a lot on good positioning, which is also another reason why I love it, because it teaches you good positioning. We also have Super Chump, really good decoy thing. You can use it for chip damage. You can use it as combo stuff. Meat shields, pretty much. You can use it to also make jumps safer. The problem is the chumps are really weak and can very easily get destroyed. So you're not always going to be able to get that usage out of them unless you are actually careful with how you use them, which is a good thing. If you notice the pattern here, a lot of specials in this game have strong, they have really strong aspects, but they also have weaknesses that any player can pretty easily exploit. Yeah, they're all amazingly designed outside of tennis missiles, but we don't talk about that one for a reason. All right, we don't talk about tennis missiles, okay? Bring up tennis missiles, and you listen here. Next up, we have the aesthetics of the game. Dude, I'm not that big of a graphics guy, okay? But this game is just great to look at. I think we can all agree. This is one of the most pleasing games to look at ever made. Let's be real here. But I understand the Switch isn't that powerful, but man, is the games on it actually look really good. Come on, they look amazing. Let's be honest here. Splatoon 3, Super Mario Odyssey, Tears of the Kingdom, and Breath of the Wild, Metroid Dread. A lot of these other games look amazing, and Splatoon 3 is no exception. This game just looks good. From aesthetics to how things look, how the maps look. Don't get me wrong, a lot of the maps outside of the two new ones we got for Drizzle season, a lot of these maps aren't great, but man, do they nail the aesthetic. I love looking at this game. It's one of the biggest reasons why. Okay, it's not. That's a lie. It's not one of the biggest reasons why I play it, but it just looks so good. I enjoy looking at every map, even if I don't like every map necessarily. I can still at least enjoy looking at it. So that's a plus. Dude, I just love this game. I love how it looks. It looks amazing to me, and that's kind of all I have to say about this. I've kind of dragged this part out a lot longer than I needed to. Whoops. And last but certainly not least, we have just the skill kind of curve or whatever it's called. One of the biggest things I've always loved about Splatoon, and it is especially prevalent in Splatoon 3, is the kind of low skill floor but high skill ceiling. Pretty much means anyone can pick up and play Splatoon, right? Anyone can just pick up a controller and play Splatoon. It's not that hard to understand how Splatoon's controls work. But if you want to master them and you get really good, that's gonna take a lot of time and effort. It has one of the best things. Its mechanics are simple enough to where it's easy for any new player to just jump in and just have fun playing. But it also has enough depth to them to where really dedicated players can get a lot of mileage out of the mechanics and use them to their fullest potential. Look up like people playing in like C minus and like go watch a tournament. It's like night. You'll feel like you're having whiplash. It's like night and day when it comes to like the skill level of like pro players and people who just started playing the game. Like or people in like C or B rank. It's night and day, and I love it. I think Splatoon 3 has one of the best kind of like skill curves in a game. I love its mechanics. I love how everything flows together. I just do I need to say more? I love the game. All right. What more do you want me to say? Want me to marry it? I probably would. Jokes aside, uh, yeah, like the modes are really in depth too. Like especially Clam Blitz, the one you're seeing on screen right now. Like it's so simple. You just collect 8 clams and then you go score. Well, there's so much more that actually goes into that. Like how you're gonna get there. Because obviously you need to push with your team, or unless you get a wipeout, then you just kind of go up by yourself. But that's not always a safe thing to do. You know, you need to push it for your team. And you have like a special to help you get in. You know, like a lot of coordination. But there's also stuff that like allows you to get in by yourself. It's not all team dependent like Splatoon 2 was. Please don't do that again, Nintendo. Like selfish specials are more often than not betterly designed because you don't need your entire team to make them effective. Anyway, this game is just amazing. I love it. Yeah, this is just kind of a Splatoon 3 appreciation post because there's a lot of negativity around here, around the Splatoon community recently, and you know, like Chase says, we could always use some more positivity. Uh, yeah, go subscribe to Chase if you haven't already. Like I said before, his link will be in the description below, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.